Welcome to the MDF Twin Flame Tower Love reading. My name's Sophia. Welcome to this community. So what I was getting was wish fulfillment, and kind of the same energy as the reading yesterday, but obviously different reading, because you know we live in the moment, let alone the day changes. So but it is connected in the sense of tower moments are happening, enlightenment, aha moments, right, that are pushing you towards your wish fulfillment. And I feel maybe you might be seeing that, I don't know, but definitely changes. It's also connected with the transmutation of negative, because sometimes what happens is shit happens in your life, like you get sacked, and you go and you find another job, and you don't even do the dots of, actually, if I didn't get sacked, I wouldn't have had this better job, or if I didn't get sacked, I've now got better money, or if I didn't get sacked, I wouldn't have met this best friend, or I didn't get sacked, I wouldn't have like moved location and been better health, or whatever. That's where this tower's coming in. There's stuff that's happening that, and the tower, when it comes in, what it does is literally, like I said, transmutation of energy. It's changing a negative, which you perceive as a negative, to making the positive. But what you're supposed to do is know natural laws, because you live on this planet, and do that anyway. But when it's detrimental or something, sometimes the tower comes in and does it for you. So I feel the tower's coming in and doing things for you to make you see, like you could have a shitty friend or someone playing up, or stuff's happening, particularly with your twin flame as well, that you're recognizing to make changes. And it is about, this planet is consciousness. We do energy readings. This is energy as well, tower readings, right? And so therefore energy is consciousness. So to live on this planet, it means making a conscious effort. Most just live, but this is the experience. So obviously, if you want to experience something, you have to make the effort, right? You're experiencing all the time, but if you want a better experience, you have to make the effort to have that. Most just live, right? It is what it is, and just live. So what happens is tower tries to shake up things for you to move forward. But so let's see with the cards. Now, the Facebook group, I say I have, but we have a Facebook group, whilst I'm shuffling here, which me and others post who are in mission. We're generally doing the tarot reading, selling all the programs. You can see us all who is in mission, and maybe you want to buy the programs of them, or book a tarot or energy reading of them. Then check out the Facebook group. I will post, I can't remember which one, I will check what I've posted. I'll give another little program in there today. And I say little, they're not that little, it's not like a minute or something, but I post, you get far more additional stuff, PDFs, Word docs. There's all of us that's in mission, and like I said, I give freebies, free programs in there as well. So if you like to join, obviously Facebook is free, it's free to join. It's a private group. And the link's in the description box. So let's jump in. Let's see what's the energy now, which most people that do tarot reading, or this energy, that energy, the energy of Libra, but still they don't know quantum physics. Is that a professional tarot reader? Their teachings are, do they know about the tree of life, which is tarot? They don't. The Fool's Journey jumps is all the alchemical elements connected to the Kabbalah. Do they know the Kabbalah? Conscious effort. Don't just get a job and be halfway. It's like being a cleaner and using cheap products and expecting it to be the best. That's what other tarot readers. Oh, what I've got is about 1 billion deck of cards, Sophia. What's that got to do with mastering your craft? Let's jump in. 7 of Swords here. What's going on here? I'll keep that over there. I keep seeing the 3 of Cups, but it's not coming out. So that's, to me, is the universe is trying to end the Knight of Wands. heartbreak. And no thing in this world, right? There's the devil, right? Nothing in this world can harm you, right? Literally, obviously, come on now, don't be silly. If someone's going to say, oh, we stab you and dead, then please leave. I'm talking about general. What people say to you, you know, even sexual abuse, abandonment, because you can transmute it. And that's what the planet is. That's why the tower comes in, to show you something negative and then teaches you how to transmute it and then get into a positive. Some people just, you know, like if you got sacked, they might just, oh, well, I got sacked, I'm lying in bed depressed, I'm always losing my jobs. No, you carry on, you know, maybe that was for a reason, something like that. You think about things. Knight of Wands, Empress, Queen of Cups. So why is that there? What's going on here? Wait there, I'm just asking. I don't clarify. If you're new, I don't get the cards to clarify. I ask. They're from upstairs anyway, so I ask them to clarify what I'm picking up, which you can do. So the Knight of Wands, what is going, can you see? Knight of Wands, matey. Knight of Wands is normally known as casual, in and out, player. Well, that's what they call it, right? It's here. It's the first card. But here's the reading, right? You can see the Empress is here, right? Right? It's like going the other way, right? This way. That's how he's facing. So the universe, the sun's here, the planets are trying to come away from your perception, right, of casual, or player, playboy, right? Now, does that mean that the universe is stopping your, for example, say your person plays the field. They don't generally, right? But if they do, right, third party of someone else, but I'm talking playing the field. Generally, you're attached to someone, an ex or something like that, right? Generally, you're still living with your ex-husband. You're still living with your ex-partner, right? That's when they show up with that player thing. You're still tied to a situation which you should release. That's that kind of time so that's that kind of situation is what I'm trying to say here. The Empress, the Queen of Cups. This is connected to, why are you saying they're together? Right, what I feel for this, well, is what I know. I don't feel, is what I know. The Empress to the Queen of Cups to me is you're trying to do this inner work, because the nurture that inner child, right, which is facing your fear because of, you know, she's got a boobalooby out. See the boobs, right? Well, one boob, right? That means vulnerability, right? So, and that is to be vulnerable, to face your inner child, because the inner child is normally unhappy. So, you know, realistically, you know, you might not know the dots, but you do know it's inside of you, which I help you to become aware of, why your inner child is unhappy. Some of you, some of you think, I say, you know, the questions I ask for counselling, or we ask, is like, have you experienced sexual abuse? And some of you is like, I'm not sure, right? If it was absolutely no, I think one person said no to me and said it was her person. I said, hell no, right? Right? And she was adamant it wasn't her. And I knew it was her, right? Anyway, going off track. Why book me if she knew better than me, right? Go and do your own thing. My point is here, back on track. Point is here, the vulnerability is going to the inner child, knowing you have to face sexual abuse. And if you've suppressed it, that you don't know what it is, it's most likely a parent, a family member, or someone that's close to you. Hence, why would you suppress that in the first place? That's the vulnerability of the Empress, right? That is when you face that, then you understand, then this releases this casualness of life. That's why your person who they're in and out and casual, because you're casual with life. Like I said, the initial energy of, oh, shit happens to me, they're there, and telling everyone about your shit and thinking that's okay, so you don't have to do anything in your life. Literally, right? That's not, like, if you've known me all the time, I have plasters. And if you look, I've got busted fingers. Now, how I started to have busted fingers is because from my abuse as a child. And now I didn't know that as a child. It's called self-harm, because what I used to do is scratch my fingers, right? Because I had to touch a guy at a very young age I didn't want to touch. So it was touching, so I scratch. And since, look, it still affects me. I subconsciously still scratch, and that's why I plastered, right? Literally. So stuff happen. Is that a negative? No, I just put a fucking plaster on it. And I'm like, why am I don't make a conscious effort to stop. I've been doing this for about, fuck's sake, 40 years, right? It doesn't affect me now because I've released the abuse. But it's a habit of 40 years. So it pisses me off because I just do it, right? That's why I got into work. I transmuted that to work. When I'm working, I never sit. When I'm bored, I'm watching a film, I see myself doing that. I suppose it's like someone grabbing a fag. I'm like, shit. And I just put a plaster on it, right? You see, I'd done this before I started work. I was sitting there talking, and then boom, I was... Anyway, so my point is, that's transmutation. People just think it's some massive regression program. No, literally everything in your life, right? I went to counselling and she says, do you self-harm? And I told her about my fingers, and she was the one who told me, she said, I've never heard of that. She told me all other stuff. She said, I've never heard of anyone doing that, right? And I said, well, it doesn't bother me. I just stick a plaster on, right? It doesn't. It's, you know, I'm so used to it. My point, back. I'm just giving you an example, you see, of how I transmuted. I don't know, for fuck's sake, 40 years, I'm still reminded of what happened. That's negative, right? This is you having to be vulnerable to face something, right? And so this is something to connected with your mother. And that's the other part of the abuse, which most people that do counselling never, ever address. And to be fair, with the counselling I experienced with the woman, I wish I remembered what she looked like. I know where the place is, but I wish I remembered her. Right? Or I knew that when I went in there, that this was the counselling I was going to do was life transformational. I wish I knew that. I didn't. I just knew to go. They gave me the download, go, and I knew it was connected with my person. My point is, she didn't particularly pinpoint my mum when I went and done counselling about my abuse, right? But this is connected to your mum, this Queen of Cups over here. But she did mention it because it was connected to my mum. But most counsellors don't talk about your parents. It's very important, right? Because this abuse has happened, right? Regardless of sexual abuse, abandonment, neglect, rejection, right? As a child, is connected to your mum because your mum, Queen of Cups, is the one who nurtures you. So if there is abuse, then why should there, what's the word? Why was there it is, abuse when your mum is supposed to be nurturing you, right? Dad a bit different, right? Because they go off and, you know, they're the foundation makers and stuff like that. Although he's a bit more different these days. But this is connected with you reparenting yourself because you wasn't nurtured from your mum here. These are two different energies, which tarot readers talk about, but don't know about quantum physics. Energies, right? Or Kabbalah. So this is connected with you reparenting and being vulnerable to understanding that you was rejected. The worst people, not worse, I'll take that right back. I may transform people's life. I have still not today, which I am eager to do, transform someone's life who has had money. They are the worst for me, put it that way, to try to convince that their parenting, their upbringing was bad. No, I had money and they loved me and they only wanted the best for me, right? What's that got to do with seeing you, what you want as a child? Completely. For you lot that don't book me because you're thinking, nah, it's nothing to do with my parent. They did not see you. And it's worse. It's far worse, because sexual abuse, you know that happens. But having a parent that guides you to go to college, which is a program, to then go and do a career, which is a program, that then guides you to date someone who will look after you, who's good for you, is not. That is abuse. Non-abuse is looking at you, asking you what you want to do. Do you want to even do this course? Do you want to drop out the course? Support you in that course. Do you really love this person? Not worrying if you marry the person or divorce the person or all that. Talking openly to your parents. If not, it's known as abuse, because you are then suppressing oneself. And that's not nurturing, right? So this is dealing with that addictive pattern. Queen of Cups to the Empress. The Page of Cups, Knight of Wands to the Page of Cups. This is changing this casual. When you deal with that, right, because you're casually dealing with it. And that might not be, well, if you're watching me, it's intentionally, you're casually. If you're watching me and you haven't booked me or someone for counselling, you're intentionally living your life casually. Others, yeah, right, can't really talk about them. But you're watching me, you are choosing not to book me, right? That's your choice. This is the free will planet, not just this free will experience. Free will planet. But when you commit to start looking at your vulnerabilities, right, and being vulnerable, right, then your person shows up, right, and being a student at it and not thinking you know that you've done it or you know it all or know that your mum was nurturing, because she's the Queen of Cups. But this energy to me is no. This is loving, this is not. That's how I'm seeing it. This is balance, because Empress is Libra and Taurus, which is Venus, right, which is the love. This is just Queen of Cups, who I feel is not, who emotionally portrayed themselves as loving. This is the Queen of Cups here is your mum, right? And no, I'm not talking about your person's mum. I'm talking about your mum, right? Because I would say, right, I'm picking up your person's mum. Your mum, regardless as you see it this way, because I said this reading is about perception, right? What shows, because I'll tell you, look, to you, you got a toe of water, right? Emotions. But on the outside, everyone sees your mother as loving, kind, because she looks after you, the perfect perception of a nice mum. I never forget, and me and my sister, and I love that about having my twin sister when you have a shitty upbringing, right? We used to go to family members and they talk about my mum, right? And to our brothers as well. Our brothers, when we was at my mum's funeral, how they were talking about our mum, me and my sister was looking at each other like, what the fuck? Like, no, she wasn't like that, right? When we go to family members, right, and they talk about how nice our mum was and all that, was like, what the fuck? No, right? This is like people seeing it different to what it really was. But with you, I'm not sure you're seeing it that way yet. And like I said, when I'm beaten, I feel that on the physical pain, right? When you're sexually abused, you know that. With money, different story. Oh, no. There's still control in you. Sexual abuse is a control element, right? Beaten is control. Telling you, I love you, here's some money, now go and do this course, is control. It's the same negative. I said to you, it's still abuse. That's why it's the hardest for me to change, because you can't see that. Page of Cups, when you understand that and you start as a student, then your person comes in as a student with the Page of Cups, right? Understanding, slowly moving towards love. More understand, instead of this fly by night, not getting who you are, because you don't get who you are. They don't understand me, Sophia. Well, you don't understand you. How can you if you haven't done what I've just said, this blip of this stuff about your parents and releasing that, right? Does that mean you go tell your mum, go fuck yourself? No, doesn't mean that, right? I'll never forget someone in PayPal booked me straight away. I don't know. And then she heard my couple of readings down. I said, you have to come away from friends and family. She wrote an email to PayPal. Oh, I want to cancel this because she told me to come away from friends and family, right? What I'm saying is that you're a light worker and you know your friends and families are not, right? If you're an accountant and your friends and family are, I don't know, a laundry assistant, laundry person, it's different. It's just different, right? So that's what I'm saying. Come away from that element. You're tying yourself, and that's middle ground. This is quite, it's hard to see. I don't know what to say. It's hard and you will never understand it. And the purpose of that is because you didn't have any trust, because once again, it was controlled when you was brought up. Here's money, here's a good education, get yourself a good job. I go to the dentist and I hate it because the dark energy I feel in there of the program. Hi, how are you? Sit on the chair, trying to be nice. And I'm like, they must hate their job. I like it because they talk about the molars and all that and they're going quite deep. But the consistency of doing the same old, I'm like, this is such a program element. It's so dark. That's just a dentist, right? But who told her to do that? What if she wanted, the dentist wanted to quit for a year and go travel? Could she even do that? That's a program. No, my mum paid for this course for me to do this dentist. I could dare not take a year off. It's a program, right? That's what you have to be vulnerable to see that. Because the inner child is a child. You're not programmed. When you're born, you don't have that program. You're a free sovereign being. And that's what we are here for, light workers, to teach people to go back to freedom. The Sun card is an enlightenment to what you are. And maybe, like I said, the initial energy on connecting with the reading was, what did I say? It was something about wish fulfillment. This is enlightening you, which will lead you to wish fulfillment. Wow, two of cups here. Two of cups. The Sun to the Two of Cups. And that's what it does. When you, like I said, when I went to the counselling, I say it all the time. Some old fiddy diddy, she probably don't like me calling her that. I think she was about 60, right? I went there 1-2 times, and I to be honest, like other people say, you got to love yourself, do the work, don't worry about your person. There's an element of that, but I damn well had the download or whatever, I don't know, knowing, right, that I had to go and do counselling for my abuse, and it was connected to David. What did I hear? Connected to David. All right, I'll go do it. So I done it, right? And I knew the first time, second time I was doing counselling, I was like, yeah, not really nothing. But I still had that, don't quit, just do it. So I was doing it. Fucking hell, the last time I was there, wow, blew me away when she was talking about the stuff I was going through. I couldn't see it. You can't see it. Right? And not only I couldn't see it, I had a twin sister. We both had the same experience. She couldn't see it neither. Couldn't see it neither. Right? You can't see it. This is enlightening you. When you go really into it, then it enlightens to you. Then you realise why your person's here. Like I said, they knew I wouldn't have went until I met my person, and that would have been the carrot to dangle me to do the counselling. Same with this tarot. I kept getting do tarot. So I bought it, the cards, and I chucked the cards. I think the Two of Cups came out. And what did I ask when I never picked up cards in my life? I can't remember. Something about David, obviously, my person, right? And then Lovers come out. I was like, wow, right? Lovers. Then I said, this could be anything. because I was skeptical. I never done tarot. I said, give me a sign. It's to do with David. I can't remember, but there was a card and it was specific for David in the card. Probably a King of Cups or something like that, because he's very loving, right? And it blew me away. So my point is, right, other tarot readers, and now I started, do you hear that? I started because of David, right? I completed, because then when you do enlightenment of why you're here on this planet with the sun planet, without the sun, this planet is fucked. So this is connected to why you're enlightened, right? You are here because this planet is fucked, literally. You are here to bring the light, to heal this planet. The sun heals the planet, right? That's why you're twin flame. So if you have to start it because it's not working with your person, fine. Like I did. Like I said, I remember I was going to book someone and they was like, you've got to do it for you. And I was like, I ain't doing it for me. I'm doing it to get my person, right? I was honest with myself, right? So I didn't book them. But like I said, divinely timed. The Seven of Swords to the Devil is you lying to yourself and still falling back to the patterns of before, thinking, no, my devil card has ballerinas, right? So ballet is known as what's negative about ballet? And that's what your perception with why would the devil, I put ballet people, I don't know what they're called, ballet dancers, let's call it that, right, in with the devil card. I done it intentionally to say that, because most people see the devil card as bad. It's not. There's no bad. Got to make that clear. There's no good or bad. There's only experience on this planet. It's your perception of how you see it. That's it. Change that perception. So like I said, is your mum bad? Is your dad's bad? No. But they still controlled you even if they looked like ballet dancers, your parents. The perception was they were great, right? Skilled, hardworking, the Capricorn's hardworking, looked like that. But you had to, bow, look at them, being like, what's this word? You were weak and given in to the devil like that. You see how they're just, I don't know the word. Tied to the devil, tied to your mum's strings. Oh, I just let her get on with it. I just do what she wants to do. Just that. That's not good. That's this Seven of Swords. And that's why you have someone who comes in casual. Because you're like, well, I'm doing the inner work, Sophia, but you're still tied to your parents who control you. No, they're not controlling me. All right, leave your job and say you want to just do nothing, right? Nothing. I'm going to go and claim benefits and do nothing and work my life out. I can join mission with Sophia, who's black and rude and swears all the time, right? But she can guarantee me to change my life, right? Go and say that now and show her my channel with tarot, right? With how I haven't really been that vulgar or rude, whatever you want to call it, in this reading. And I still say, she'll say you're mad. How is that loving? How is that loving? I've got a lot of experience with dementia, and I've done a few courses on it and stuff like that. I used to be a carer, to be honest with you, and when it comes to certain dementias, they get paranoid and they talk about stuff that isn't real, like people after me, or stuff, definitely stuff like that. I don't know why. It's people after them, and my phone is being hacked, and the internet, people will watch me on the internet. I don't know what that's got to do with it, but I do know there's a bit of paranoia with some degrees of dimension. Now, why I'm saying that is because it is best to go along with it, right? And when it comes to situations like that, you might think, well, you're lying, but they're already, you can't change their perception of what they think it is, right? This is understanding certain ways of life. Like that might seem to be, well, you're lying to the person with dementia that, you know, of course there's no agents or they're being hacked or people, but they only see it that way. So it is better for that person, instead of arguing because they cannot see that, you know, what you're saying is any different, just go along with it. Unless you're doing something like that because your parents are in this program of that way. What you're trying to do is heal it and then still connected with your person. That's casual. Understanding that they are just like that, right, is the way forward. People say, oh, be negative, and you're saying get rid of family. I'm saying no. Just understand that you're different. You're supposed to be enlightened, right? Two of Cups is underneath this Queen of Cups. So it doesn't mean fuck them off, but understand that their way is like that. And generally, twin flames have the parents who have a contract to allow their children to shine. That's another story. I actually give you that called The Why audio in counselling. So this is about you being tied and just still deception is connected to a mother. And there's something here with addictions as well, because the devil's here, plus with the alcohol in the Queen of Cups. So it's like, yeah, you thinking, whoops, you thinking, well, I've come away from my family, Sophia, but it's halfway, right? It's not. See the cup? Well, yeah, it's blurry, but can you see the glass is halfway, right? It's like, no, you ain't. No, you haven't. And you think by like, well, I've done the healing, I go to my family and I don't get pulled in. Well, even Buddha fucking climbed the mountain, sat cross-legged on the mountain. He didn't stay in his living room with the mum and the family who were like this. Why did he climb the mountain? Right? First of all, no one would do that. That's hard fucking work. It is hard work to be a spiritual master leader. Secondly, right, to get a holistic overview, because where he is too close to it. On top of the mountain, you see clearly and you're in higher grounds, right? So you're connected with source. Plus, isolation, inner work, hermit. You are saying, well, I'm doing the work, Sophia, but you're still going around with people who, Seven of Swords, the devil. You are tied to, but they look like, right, with eyeballs, that now they're fine, you know, they're okay, I can deal with it. I promise you, myself, still don't go round to family members and get pulled into that. I still don't. So let's see messages from my alien cards. From, let's say, the galactic source, them lot upstairs. All right, let's see what they want to say to you. And then we'll pull out what your person would want to say. Unity consciousness. This is about collaboration. Your conscious awareness, and I was saying about consciousness at the beginning, making a conscious, right, awareness. That's what I said, make a conscious effort. People don't make that conscious effort. Conscious awareness. Unity consciousness, your conscious awareness is limited to only the 3D. You go around to your parents, right? They're limited to the 3D. There's no point talking to them and saying, listen, mum, dad, you treated me bad. Or listen, mum, dad, I'm a light worker. I'm connected to higher realms. You're limiting to the 3D. Master program, chakra videos, conscious aware meditation, and twin flame program, Kundalini exercise. I already said this with the Empress, abuse and sexual abuse. Do you see that darkness still around her, right? This is why you had sexual abuse. Look at the finger. Then, because you didn't release that, like attracts like, you attract someone else who sexually abuses you or abuses you. Then you still don't release them too. Then you still get someone else, and someone else is just all the darkness holding on to you, right? Oh, but Sophia, I'm light, right? I'm a light worker. Well, you still have this darkness because like attracts like. You might perception 3D, the physicality, the physical plane, the physical world, you might be saying I'm a light worker, but inside or outside, as with inside, without, you are attracting negative. Sexual abuse and abuse. Negativity needs to be, what do I say, transmuted. Sex mastery program. And this one keeps coming out. And like I said, my example with my plasters, right? Appreciation. Most people appreciate the positives, but without the negatives in life, you would not know the positives. I am telling you, that is so true. Whenever something happens, I normally get kind of signs when there are big negative things that's coming into my life. But whenever something negative, I'm like, I kind of like, okay, I wonder, you know, what it's for. If I can't figure it out, I'm like, well, it's supposed to be. Find that point. Oh, I'll give you an example whilst I'm shuffling. I used to get so pissed off with bills. Never put bills on the fridge or up in your place, because that's all you look at is bills. And then that's all you worry about is bills. So I used to get fed up with bills, and I missed a bill, or your bill is this and your bill is that. Right? I'm like, fucking bills, bills, bills. That's when I was skin. I'm talking 15, 16. Right? Oh, before that, before 26, when I was 26, 27, I became an entrepreneur. My life changed. Right? And now, when I get a bill, right, in the post, I open it, I'm like, oh, thank you. Right? I literally say, I don't know who I'm saying thank you to. Thank you for this letter, right? Because literally it reminds me to pay it, because I don't do direct debit all the time because they scam you. It reminds me to pay it because I'm dyslexic and I forget to pay the bills. Or it's showing me that I'm on top or I'm ahead of my bills. Before, I'll be like, fucking hell, the council tax bill's here. Fuck's sake, I forgot to pay this. It's a red letter. Fucking hell. Do you see? Now I'm like, okay, I'm on track. Thank you. It doesn't irritate. Just a simple example of changing your life to see things differently. Even getting a ticket on the car. Ah, shit, I knew I shouldn't have parked here. I knew I should have blah, blah. Or next time I'll definitely look when I go out parking to make sure that so I don't get tickets on the car. Everything is for that. Maybe that guy who got the ticket needed money, or that extra money to pay for something for which was important to him. We're all connected. Unity consciousness. Everything. If you can't figure it out, it might be for someone else. That negative you so call, right? Unity consciousness. Let's see. Let's get another one, shall we? Because we only got one. Two. Oh. I hate how long it's been since I've seen you. So is that enough? Right? What I'm getting from this is seeing you. So your person's not really seeing you. You're not being you. Right? Please, can we start over? Yeah? Okay, so it could be both here. Hadn't seen you for a while, wants to start over. Did this come out before? I don't know. You make me extremely happy. Now, to me, this card is like starting over again, and because to be at the point of happiness with the Sun card. So it's a start. I don't know. I'm just getting this is a starting of starting over. I don't know why I get that. It doesn't make sense, but I'm just saying that. It's like, it's not at the end of your journey. It's not like I love you. Extremely happy is, okay, let's start again and let's get happy and then make our way up to love again, right? Because you probably think you love your person, but it was a different version of love. I feel lost and lonely without you. I feel this is connected to the Devil card of you not cutting the ties with your parents because you may feel lost and lonely. You feel you have to have that bond with them. You feel the bond here is you as well. The Devil card is you can come away from those chains, just like the Eight of Swords, they say. But the Devil card is like you're not literally tied, right? You can come away. But I feel like that's this lost and lonely without your, it's mirror. Seven of Swords is my mirror card. They always mirror to you stuff. right? Okay, so that's the reading. Please join the Facebook group. If you'd like to book someone in the community, please go to the Facebook. Then we're all on there, so you can check us all out. And if you like someone who's done a reading in the Facebook group, then you can go to their channel and email them and stuff like that, right? We all have the same things. We all sell the same thing. It's just that at the moment, I'm not doing the counselling. But you buy counselling with someone else, you will get me anyways, right? That's what I like to do. So I'm in everyone's business, to be honest with you. But most of the time, they can do it without me. But well, I do the regression therapy. So you do counselling with someone else, you get me anyway. I am out. Speak to you later.